that I'm greedy for that.
Because Nintendo is so damn greedy. Yeah, I said it. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I think it's pretty safe to say that Disappointment Central is here today because it's time. The day has arisen. You are soon to be retired. The Nintendo Switch grab. Send Nintendo Switch. This beautiful little thing. This beautiful little thing. This magical thing of memories. You guys remember my Nintendo Switch history. Literally. Yeah, the Nintendo Switch. You definitely caused quite a revolution for your existence, but you've done wonders for us. You did absolutely phenomenal, but now it is time for you to soon retire from your throne because it's time to move on to the next generation, as the next generation is upon us, so you know what that means. Anyways, in actuality though, it's time to actually talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 because the Nintendo Switch 2 The Nintendo Switch 2 is good. Sorry for that. The Nintendo Switch 2 has officially been well, I mean it already was announced, but the Nintendo Switch 2 officially did have its general announcement, whatever's the whole, oh, it's out now. It's coming out. You know, be excited for it. We're ready for it. Be ready for it. We're going to get excited for it, and we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, price drop. Okay, in pure actuality, it's time for me to give my pros and cons on the Nintendo Switch 2. Let's start with some pros. For starters, phenomenal job showing off Mario Kart. You did no questions asked. Like, cooperate with me, camera. Hate this stupid thing. Go back to Mario Kart. Go back to Mario Kart. Dude! My computer is acting like a bitch today, guys. Too much like a bitch today. Well, I don't have time for this, dude. Just work with me. Okay, I legitimately don't know what's going on. But anyways, going on about it. First thing to note is the brand new Mario Kart. That's the first thing to talk about. Okay, I can't. Okay, I just can't. We're just gonna talk camera. Editing is gonna be fun for this one. Anyways, congratulations on you guys for putting out a brand new Mario Kart. No questions asked. Mario Kart World. It looks phenomenal. It's absolutely incredible to see. Keeping it honest. Another thing. Let's just continue talking. I'm surprised with the amount of beauty that the Switch 2 is presenting. Incredible. Graphics wise, and it goes to show that Nintendo is capable of producing those kinds of things. The actual, you can do it. You can do better hardware. You guys could do 4K. You guys could do more than 60 frames, man. You guys could do it, and I'm happy that they're finally doing it. I think that's great. And top of the line with that, the third party support. There's so much more variety with the third party support. It's awesome to see games like Cyberpunk, see Madden. Yeah, I kind of weird throwing Madden, but it's crazy to see all this third party support, and that's something that the Switch not really entirely lacked. But games like Cyberpunk, games like Madden, games like even 2K as an example, those games are gonna be on the Switch too, and that's great. And on top of that, there's even gonna be more third party games. It's to the point where it could actually be possible to see GTA 6 on the Switch. I'm not saying that it's gonna. But dear God, it could possibly happen. Anyways, I'm taking off the microphone. I'm taking off the headphones with this one. It's true though. I gotta say, I'm happy that they're introducing they're having built-in voice chat, even though it's kind of pointless now because Discord exists. Yada yada yada. Having a dedicated camera is an interesting choice. and so on, so on, so on. You guys have done a phenomenal job presenting the Switch 2. Switch 2. And on top of that, the first party support is phenomenal, and so on and so forth. And that's it. That's all the positive things I really have to say about the Switch 2. That's really all I got. Oh, and 256 on gigabytes on internal storage. Did I mention the 4K support? Sorry. But anyways, those were literally the pros. Just the new Mario Kart game and literally every solid thing that they introduced with the Switch 2. Bigger Joy-Cons, bigger whatever. Everything's bigger, better, whatever. And again, I commend them for their third-party support. I think they did a phenomenal job trying to actually do the third-party support. It's interesting to see that these companies are willing to throw in their hands into the Nintendo ring once again. And especially seeing some companies that were heavily on Nintendo platforms in the past, fading away, and then they finally come back. It's nice to see stuff like that. You guys understand what I'm trying to say? It's nice to see that. All right? Those were the pros, though. What about the cons? Well, we'll get to the big one in just a moment, and that was the reason for that intro. But anyways, they are pretty much treating the Switch 2 like a straight-up replacement of the Nintendo Switch 1, which, don't get me wrong, that's nice and everything. It's okay to say that, hey, the Switch 2, it can literally do everything that the Switch 1 did, plus more. And that's all it generally feels like. That's probably a con at least for me. They presented it very much so. This is just a flat-out replacement. That's all you can really say. I also don't like that they're continuing to do Nintendo Switch Online. I hope they do tentatively kind of improve it, but outside that, it's not really needed. And on top of that, they did announce GameCube service for the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. They only announced 3 games, right? Like 3 or 4 games, I don't remember. Just 3 or 4 games for launch. I hope that it's really not just those games, because that's kind of disappointing. And on top of that, another thing that kind of bugs me is how some of these games, some Nintendo Switch 1 games, obviously a lot of the Switch 1 games are going to work on Switch 2. I already know some games probably like Nintendo Labo as an example, or Ring Fit Adventure. Those games probably might not work on Switch 2, but that's besides the point. What I find interesting, they are doing this thing where select Nintendo Switch 1 games will have expansions on the Switch 2. And these expansions, they're pretty much just DLC. They're pretty much DLC. And I say this because they're literally telling you, if you want to have these bonus features for your Switch 1 game on the Switch 2, you have to pay for it. I'm not even joking. You actually have to do that. Which is a little, at that point, you're kind of getting a bit, I don't know. Not my favorite thing to do, in my opinion. Honestly, you already have the game, and you're already going to spend a lot on the Switch 2. You really want me to spend more on, these expansions for these games? If you think back, you could think to like Sega doing the Sega 32X for the Genesis, and same with the CD, or Nintendo trying to do that with the Nintendo 64 with the Nintendo 64 DD disc drive. You could think of those as an example. Not really, but Also, I commend them for making the cartridges better, but. And also that the SD cards, they don't work. You have to use a specific SD card for those. Which same deal with the original Switch right here. But again, that's besides the point. Hold on. Actually, hold on. You can see my SD card. Hold on. You could see. There's my SD card. That's a Nintendo Switch branded one. Excuse me. That's a Switch 1 branded SD card. And you're telling me that I can't use that for my Switch 2? That's kind of stupid. It's kind of messed up. All right. And now the biggest con of them all. You ready for it? Now, see, I don't know if you can see that, but that's kind of a lot of money if you ask me. First and foremost, we knew the Switch 2 was going to be expensive, okay? If being honest, we already knew it was going to be expensive. We were expecting $400. $400. I expected $400. A lot of Nintendo consumers expected $400. I was getting ready to save up $400. And then we saw the Nintendo website. Can we work this time? I would like to work this time. Please. Will you work with me this time? I'm talking about my computer. Can it handle this? Can it handle this? It can kind of handle this. No, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I already registered for the pre-order, and I made the wrong pick. Okay, look, $449.99 for the Nintendo Switch 2. $50 extra for the Switch 2. Now, I'm gonna keep it honest with you. The extra $50 is kind of an interesting choice. I'm gonna keep it honest with you. But the fact that we probably could have actually had this at $400. Look, I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I say this all the time on a regular basis, like in my personal life. I don't know. In my personal life, inflation is a bitch. There's no denying about it. Inflation is a bitch, especially if you live in the United States. Inflation is a bitch. Okay, but $449.99, $450 for a Switch 2, and not to mention, there's also going to be a Mario Kart World bundle with this. That's going to be $500, $499.99. So, oh, and you want to know something else, mate? You want to know something else? Let's go back real quick. Hold on. You want to know something else, mate? Show me the Switch 2 games. Give me the Switch 2 games. How is this taking too much processes? Yo, my laptop is so not being up. Oh, here we go. All right, chill. Calm down. Okay. Mario Kart World will be a launch title. It's going to be a launch title for the Switch 2. Phenomenal looking background and everything. You know, it looks incredible. It looks phenomenal. $80. $79.99. $80 for this game. $80 for this game. What happened to 70? Let alone $60. Look, we already knew $60 was gone from the table. We knew that was out of the table. Okay, $60, that's not a thing anymore. $70, that's already expensive. But you're telling me the best-selling game for Nintendo, the most anticipated game. People have been waiting for this game in over a decade. It's been over a decade since Mario Kart 8 came out. Not to mention, this game is only going to be on Switch 2. It's not going to be on Switch 1, which that in itself kind of feels like a slap in the face. You want to know why? Because we were stuck with just 8 Deluxe. The Switch's Mario Kart, which is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and they are stuck with that. So that already feels kind of a bit like an insult for people because people have been waiting for a new Mario Kart on the Switch for a long time. I'm telling you, I'm being so serious with you guys. So this is a Switch 2 exclusive. Okay, but judging by how they made this game and how everything has been presented, it kind of makes sense that it's on Switch 2. So I'm not going to make any more of a big deal about it. But $80 for this game. $80. Now, excuse me a moment. All right, so pause away. And it doesn't help out that Donkey Kong Bonanza, the other Switch 2 game that was announced, is only $70. So how come this game is $70, yet this game is $80? Like, what kind of logic are we living in, Nintendo? This is a launch title game, and this is gonna be $80 at launch. And funny enough, this actually is bringing a concern to the gaming industry, because if you're gonna charge a game $80, it could cause a chain reaction where other companies will start making their games $80. It's crazy to think that the games, not that, like literally a couple years ago, I bought Super Mario Bros. Wonder for $60. That already stuff was pretty expensive. Like $60 isn't a joke. Being honest, $60 is not a joke. Then you see the price increase to $70. We see that with What's the Tears of the Kingdom? Tears of the Kingdom. Legend of Zelda. Right? Okay, yeah, whatever. The new Zelda game went up to 70. And it's like, okay, that's kind of the general norm that's going on right now. $70 is fairly common nowadays, which yes, that's already in some expensive. That was the cost of the Switch Pro controller. When I bought this Pro controller, this was $70. This Pro controller was $70. That was $70, guys. And now you're going on to tell me that actual game costs more than the freaking controller. I mean, that's another thing. That's kind of a normal thing too. But again, do you understand what's going on? Inflation is a bitch. And on top of that, Nintendo is taking full advantage of it by making the Mario Kart World $80. The Switch 2, $449. Now, do the math. If you bought the Switch 2 and Mario Kart World separately, that's around like mathing, like $530, like between 530 to $550. Now, you could have also bought the bundle. That would be just $500. You're saving slightly money. But another thing that's being worried about right now, and I'm seeing this all over Twitter, people are concerned that digitally it will cost $80, but physically it will be $90. And if it's at that point, that's insanity. We're charging how much? $90 for. We're charging $90 for physical games. I repeat that. Hold up. We're charging $90 for these rinky dinky little bitches. Like, dude. And it's gonna be the exact same cartridge. Oh, but it's gonna be red. That's the big difference. And it will taste different. I don't know why. Oh, goddamn, why did I do that? I don't know why. Remember when people did that? The whole licking the cartridge thing? I don't know why. I don't know why I did that. I'm gonna dry off. But you get my point though? Like, why Nintendo? It's like, it's getting greedy at that point. Like, it's enough spending $60 on a game. With the 60, like, that's bare minimum. Like, in my opinion, that's the maximum. $50 should be the maximum. Let alone 60. But you're willing to charge $80 for wrong game. Give me that. You're willing to hold on. You're spending to waste $80. You're willing to make us spend $80 for Mario Kart. Now, don't get me wrong, Mario Kart is awesome. I love Mario Kart. Favorite game. Literally, hold on. Like, literally my background, my wallpaper is literally freaking Mario Kart. Like, dude, I love Mario Kart. Definitely, like, easily my favorite games. I dominated Mario Kart, you feel me? But you're charging me $80 for the game, and that's just insane to me. Okay? And I feel like that, and as the day goes by, as the information and everything dies down, I feel like that's probably going to be the big talking point. It's costing way too much, especially for Nintendo. And look, we can think about the PS5 and the Xbox Series X prices. Those were insane when they dropped at the time. But we also think about like iPhones as an example. Those things, those things cost $1,000. This is an iPhone 11. We're in the iPhone 16s, and we're about to get to the 17s soon. The Switch is gonna the Switch 2 is gonna cost $450. Do you realize the pure insanity that we're living in with prices? And I know there's gonna be people saying, "Ah, well, prices. You know, video games cost that price not that long ago." And I'm like, okay, if that was the case, fine. But we moved past it. Those prices dropped eventually, and we should be staying in those prices are low thing. Why are they increasing? Because inflation is a bitch. Simple as that. And because it's America. But you can't go wrong with America. Actually, America's terrible. Oh my God. I'm sorry for saying that. But look, that's probably my biggest con. And that's probably the biggest setback that many people will have trying to get the Switch 2. The reason that people were fine getting the original Nintendo Switch, this was, I mean, not this one, but the original Switch was $300. This was just $350. It was below $400, and the games were only $60. Think about that, and also think about Switch games usually don't go on sale. They stopped doing Nintendo Selects. Once the Wii U generation ended, they stopped doing Nintendo Selects. You remember that? When they would offer games for just $20. They don't do that with the Switch. The games always have been $60, and now 70, and now they're gonna be 80 soon. And and not even that, it's causing a concern for many people because they're worried that because the price of Mario Kart is gonna be $80, other companies are gonna follow suit. Because Mario Kart, regardless on the price, it's gonna be selling well because it's Mario Kart. It's like a extremely well established franchise for Nintendo. There's no doubt about that. So, prime example obviously goes GTA 6. Prime example. People have been anticipating and waiting for GTA 6 to drop. It's been way more than a decade. It's been a long time since GTA 5 dropped. Like, those GTA 5 was on the PS3, Xbox 360, the PS4, and the Xbox One, and even the PS5 and Xbox Series X. Like, think about that. 3 generations. 3 generations. And not a single time it hasn't been on a Nintendo console. And also, by the way, I might as well advocate it. GTA 6 better appear on the Switch 2. If it doesn't appear on the Switch 2, I'll be shocked. If you're gonna put Cyberpunk 2077 on the Switch 2, you should put a GTA 6 on the Switch 2. Anyways, that's the big concern that people are worried about. That the Switch 2, with its price of with the price of $80, even though some games are showing 70, one game is showing 70, the other showing 80. It's confusing. There's supposed to be a norm with this, guys. I don't know what to tell you. But the big concern is that people are worried about the price. But it's not going to stop them from buying them. And look, as much as I don't want to say that, because I know there's going to be people saying, we're not going to buy it. It costs way too much. We're not going to buy it. You guys are still going to buy it. I'm going to keep it honest. Even if I were to say I'm not buying the Switch 2, I'm still going to buy it. At the end of the day, I'm still probably going to buy it. I might say I'm not buying Mario Kart. I'm going to end up buying Mario Kart for the Switch 2. I will end up paying buying Mario Kart World. I will end up getting a Switch 2. And I'll be complaining about the damn price about it. It's just reality. You know? It sucks. I know it sucks with these price increase, with this massive price increase, especially for us Nintendo fans. This is a big, it's a tough thing to swallow. It's a tough thing to deal with. Especially when you had the expectation of $400 instead of $450, and now $500 and then $80. And then you even could look at the Switch accessories. Those things are around the same price, if not slightly more than the original Switch's accessories. And most of the accessories are the same damn things. The Switch 2 Pro controller is $80. The Joy-Cons are $90. I love Nintendo. Okay? I love Nintendo. I really do. But when it comes to a situation like this, what do you want me to do? I know myself. I know I'm going to end up getting a Switch 2. I know I'm going to end up saving up my money to get a Switch 2, unbox it here, play some Mario Kart World. You feel me? I'm keeping it honest as possible. I'm keeping it as honest as possible. But with this situation, it's hard to see it's hard to figure out what will this cost Nintendo. Will it be a 3DS situation? Would they get a price cut during the holiday season? Will games cost less? I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna be, but I do hope that it does become that way. No. Remember the 3DS? It dropped with $250, like $250, I think, and then they did a $100 price cut. Think about it. But I'm not saying, but because it's the Switch too, I don't know if it will be that way. Frankly, nobody does. So it will only be a testament of time to see if people will think that this is a worthy investment or not. It will be interesting to see what will happen in the long run. But for now, I know there's so much backlash at Nintendo for these prices. And frankly, we expected price increases, but not in this level. We expected a $400 system, $70 games, instead a $450 system with $80 games. So yeah, I think that's pretty much my general PSA. If being honest, me personally, I look forward to seeing hopefully the Switch 2 price says go down as soon as possible. I don't know how it's gonna be, but I know Nintendo has to be looking at everybody's opinion on the Switch 2's prices and thinking, yeah. And this ended up being from my overall thoughts on the Switch 2 to its price. Honest thoughts on the Switch 2, it's just the OLED Switch. Anyway, but without the OLED screen. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, follow the socials, and you know the drill of this video. Give it a thumbs up and everything. And yeah, give me your honest opinions on the Switch 2. Do you think it's solid or not? Do you think it's a good investment? Do you think that Nintendo is going to be pushing the boundaries a bit? I don't know. Do you think people will retaliate? They already are. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.